Hey, CFMA, imagine yourself in the following situation. You've completed your year-end reporting and you are reviewing the results with your project manager. He's pressuring you to change the results for two of his projects because they didn't meet the promised goals he made to the big boss, and he needs to meet his annual goal. So how do you respond? Well, this is a real situation. It's happened to me more than once. If you have actually been through this, you know how uncomfortable this conversation can get. You know your numbers, you know they're right, but your numbers are being challenged and you have to justify your work. So how do you resolve this? In school, we don't teach how to solve ethical dilemmas or handle these kinds of conflict. Instead, what we do is we focus on just the technical aspects of accounting. So we have an ethical dilemma. So hi, I'm Marcy Maslov. I'm the inventor of eFactor, the educational board game of business ethics. I created eFactor to just exactly create the safe space to teach you how to solve these problems and give you some practice in a safe and fun environment. I was the one that gave you your 4 hours of ethics CPE last year at the annual CFMA conference, and I'm here again to give you a magical moment in which you can get some practical tips on ethical problem solving. So, as with any ethical dilemma in real life, we never have enough information. We have to go hunt for that information. There's no roadmap either, right? It's based on our own experience, and every one of us will have a different roadmap for how to solve the problem and what to actually do. That means we're left to figure it out on our own based on our own ethical standards, our own background, our experience, our work environment, what is acceptable to us, as well as our interpretation of what is right and wrong and what power we have to solve the problems. So where do we start? Well, we start with what is the actual ethical dilemma, and believe it or not, there are some people who struggle to figure out what the ethical dilemmas are. Here in this situation, we've got two. Someone with authority and power is pressuring us to do something that we think is wrong, or at least is questionable. And the second ethical dilemma is that we have to make a decision ultimately on whether or not to make the adjustment. What's implied is the numbers are wrong, according to the project manager at least, and the truth is not necessarily as important as meeting the promised goal. So once we know the dilemmas, now it gives us a background for making a decision. And we have some choices. Yes, we do have choices. We need to also identify the outcomes that we want to achieve. Subconsciously, what's going through our head is, oh my God, what happens if I make the wrong decision? What are the consequences to me? What are the risks here? What do I do? Who do I ask for help? And consciously, that means we're thinking about what's in it for me, not necessarily what is the right thing to do. So I'm hearing some of you going, really? There is no question here. Here's the right answer. Well, I want you to think back to some of your own experiences with ethical dilemmas and realize that people don't have the same definitions that we necessarily have for ourselves. So the most important thing I want you to take away is we have choices. Yes, we can choose to change the numbers. Well, the possible consequence for that is that we give them the wrong numbers. Big Boss makes decisions on the wrong results, and that impacts our company's results and our reputation. And ultimately, it comes back to us in the form of a lack of trust from the big boss. And we could also make the choice to refuse to make the change, which has a similar impact, but it affects our reputation and makes us be viewed as not a team player and therefore not someone to be trusted. There's more choices than this. We could, ask for some time, review our numbers, admit maybe there is a mistake, or maybe we didn't have all the information that we needed, or we could report the pressure to someone in governance and ask for that pressure to stop. There's a lot of choice here. At the end of the day, the choice we take is really going to be based on what consequence are we willing to accept, and that is going to be based on the path of least resistance or the path of least conflict, regardless of whether the choice we make is right or wrong. So I could talk to you a lot more about this ethical dilemma, but we're out of time for now. So I leave you with the ultimate question. What would you do in this situation? And would your teammates or your staff, your employees, make the same choices as you? If not, what guidance would you take? What steps would you offer? How would you help people to understand the issues here? Email me your thoughts and earn 3 PAPs to the next E-Factor experience. Let's continue this conversation at your next CFMA annual conference or a local chapter meeting near you. Thank you. I look forward to hearing from you.